Shabbat Shalom, Parashat Tetzaveh. We just commemorated Moshe Rabbeinu's birthday and Yortzeit. And indeed, as happens in every year, we are going to read the parasha, the single parasha throughout all of the Torah from the day that Moshe Rabbeinu is born, in which Moshe Rabbeinu's name is not mentioned. Yes, there are many different traditions as to why this is true. I would like to offer you a different perspective that pertains to the essence of the mission of the Mishkan and the mission of leadership. Leadership that has become the center of attention in our days. Indeed, Moshe Rabbeinu is commanded to continue in the construction of the Mishkan. And throughout the parasha, we have Kadosh Baruch Hu speaking to Moshe Rabbeinu, but he is in the background. His name is not mentioned. And perhaps it is to give us a perspective as to the delicate and complex role that a leader has. In the construction of the Mishkan, we are constructing a tool, a venue for which we can understand the presence of God. It allows us to sense clearly that God is amongst us. Something that we really truly should be achieving in every day of our lives. Now this mission was quite complex and difficult for Moshe Rabbeinu. Moshe, different than all other leaders that we will have throughout Jewish history, had a relationship with God in which God was so clearly present with him at all times. As the Torah describes to us, he spoke to God face to face. He actually sensed the presence of God around him in every minute of the day. This intense sense was quite different than the sense of the average man. In fact, for most of us, in the modern era we could clearly sense this, we have to struggle very hard to feel the presence of God. Yes, if we think about it, we could intellectually analyze it. At moments of stress, at despair, we may even emotionally feel it. But in the course of our day, when we're running around our business, we have to work hard to feel the presence of God, to see the hand of God in everything that occurs around us. Here was Moshe Rabbeinu's great challenge throughout his career. How does he bridge the gap between his sense of the presence of God and that of the people's sense? The Mishkan is supposed to create this wonderful connection to the presence of God. But this is going to be quite a task. It is a learning process. And if we pay careful attention to the way that this parsha is constructed, we will see that the focus becomes not Moshe, but rather the role of Aharon in the service of God. In fact, the Torah gives Moshe Rabbeinu a commandment. Ve'ata hakrev elecha et Aharon achicha ve'et banav ito. You bring close to you Aaron, your brother, and his children with him. And here comes the critical words. Mitoch b'nei Yisrael, from within b'nei Yisrael, within the Jewish people. Lechahanoli, to become a Kohen for me. Aharon, Nadav Avihu, Elazar v'itamar b'nei Aharon. Aharon and his 4 sons. So Chazal ask, Ve'ata hakrev elecha, why do you need to bring him close? And the typical answer is, bring him close because Aaron was feeling somewhat shy, because as we know, this parsha, along with the parsha that preceded it, will really given to us after the terrible events of next week's parsha, which is the golden calf. And Aaron, due to his conduct and performance during the events of the golden calf, felt somewhat removed and distant and not welcomed. And he needed to be brought closer. I would like to offer, however, a different perspective. Perhaps the mission is to bring Aaron close to you, Moshe. God says to Moshe, if you want this project of construction of the Mishkan to be successful, you need to be able to bridge the gap. And in fact, you are not capable. You, Moshe Rabbeinu, are in such a plateau in which you don't have the ability to reach out to the people and sense their position. That will be the role of Aaron. Aaron, your brother, will be the Kohen Gadol. He will be the one that will conduct the avodah, the service of Hashem in the Mishkan, because he and only he lives within the people Take him mitoch b'nei Israel. Take him within the people that he senses, that he understands. And have him lead the way. Have him show the way to reach out to Hashem. Because what is natural for you, Moshe, is very, very different for everyone else. It is a great, great challenge to sense the presence of Hashem. That Aaron, through his deep love for every single Jew, for his desperate seeking of peace, to bring together one another, to bring every single Jew to one another. Aharon himself is the one that will lead Am Yisrael to properly use the Mishkan. In fact, Moshe, this parsha is a time for you to take a backstage. Oh, don't fear, Moshe. This is a week in which you will be remembered. And of course, ultimately, it is you that will construct the Mishkan, and only you will be able to pull all of these spiritual pieces together to truly create a home for Hashem. But when it comes to the day-to-day service, to the day-to-day struggle of every single Jew to reach out to Hashem, for that, we will need a leader like Aaron to lead the way. May our people be blessed with such powerful leaders as Moshe and Aaron that show us the way with strength, with courage, with love and devotion. Shabbat Shalom.